could have actually solved this by going to Orochimaru, or possibly solved this. So it's really
All
huge to not
the
assume that
thing
they did
is,
it.
allowing the audience to assume this is just silly because all you need to do is add one line. All you need is
True,
one
I
line.
agree.
You
Well,
do not
I
see
agree.
this is my problem with like people who are like, oh, the old gen can't be in here,
Mhm.
or just like all you need is one line, two, three. People are like, you these we don't need pages of new old gen characters. It's like, yeah, I agree,
Those
but
people
you
are. Let me
just
tell you this, bro.
they're
Bro, let me tell you. Let me
delusional.
tell you. A lot of those Boruto fans you see on Twitter, they actually hate Naruto. Okay, and they hate Naruto fans, and there's a reason for that. They're
And you
still
have a
carrying
bunch
this
of
chip on their shoulders
but
from
you also
2017 when
have
people usually railed on them. So
but
they're
you
very very angry and vindictive and bitter
that may
people.
be
Okay,
correct, but you also
so
have people on the opposite side of the spectrum who hate Boruto and want old
true.
gen characters to replace, and it's just like you guys are the
I
same
don't
thing.
think that's the case. You see, look at this way, right? Naruto fans who actually hate Boruto, they're not watching Boruto, okay? Let's be real here.
yeah,
They're not consuming Boruto.
exactly.
And most of the time when they see Naruto characters, they're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to see this, bro. Like, what are you doing to my guys? They're like, yo, like they're not watching. So when you see like Naruto fans on Twitter, they're like, oh, I would like to see this incorporated here into this section of the story. Those are actually people who are watching the story
Yeah.
and actually contributing to manga sales, and those are people actively involved with. So when you see those people on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, Naruto fans, they're not watching the story. They want to see their characters." It's bullshit. It's
Well, I
nonsense.
They're
saw a
fake.
People who
comment
hate the
today.
story, they're not watching that
I
shit, bro.
saw a
It's
comment
they're
today.
not
It was a
paying attention
Sakura
to it.
stan, and they were like,
I saw
they're
it as
just a
well.
yeah. It was just like those are the type of comments that make people like me who like think that the old gen should have a couple of lines within the series look
Hmm.
bad because of the nonsense that people like that
Bro,
spew
those are
off.
Sakura fans, bro.
Kido, did you say you
Those are
saw the
Sakura
comment
Do you
fans.
before
realize how
Sauron
many there
described it?
are?
How did you know which comment it was?
No, yeah, because we're in the same space on Twitter, bro. When
No, did he say
you
on
said the
Twitter?
Sakura
I mean,
comment,
I
I know exactly
guess. I mean, I
what he
think
was
it's
referring to.
more than one Sakura tweet per day, but
Nah, but that's a tweet
all
that
right, fair
went
enough, fair
viral.
enough.
So, hmm
Well,
so it's like, yeah, they're like saying, they wanted they wanted like the old gen to replace the boring MC like Boruto. So
Yeah, they're like Sakura's way more popular than Boruto.
yeah,
It'll become focused on Sakura and Boruto, so they're
hmm
afraid of the power of Sakura. And I'm like, oh my
hmm
lord, you are
yeah. So
crazy.
you have like extremes on either side. That's why I never focus on extremes.
yeah.
I focus on the people in the middle. And
Like,
never, because you have like the extreme fans of both are just as bad as the extreme haters,
yeah, they are.
right? They're so annoying.
Yeah,
So
and
I like people who remain objective in the middle and can like say, okay, this is
I've
good, this is bad,
I
and all that
find that
stuff. That's
people
where I
tend
am.
to overcorrect because I've made tweets about like how new gen should be involved and it would make sense if
Yeah,
they were, and it doesn't make sense if they aren't. And just like a bunch of people going like, what would they even do? What would they even contribute? Their time is over. And I'm like,
dumbasses.
none of this makes
They're
that
so dumb,
that's not the
so
point.
dumb.
The point is
Bro.
that you ruin their characters if they don't show up in these situations. If
It's
these
not even the
kids,
characters; it's a story. You
if
have
you
these people,
Yeah, like if
and
you're
the village is getting
I'm
attacked.
obviously,
sorry, but they have to exist. You
yeah,
can't
like
just
if they
write
don't want them to be part of the story, which is
kill them
understandable, they
off
Write
should
or
be
them out.
written
remove
out
them from
Write
the
them out.
properly.
story. Because the
Yeah.
problem that you run into is if these kids can make it in time to fight these Shinjuu and these Jonin, everybody brings up the rebuttal. They're not strong. It doesn't matter if they're strong or not. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. They would come to these general locations where all the people are getting injured or getting harmed
Yeah.
and or dying. They would go to those locations. Those parents would go to their children, just like we saw back in the Pain arc. Who was with their children? The people who were part of their clans. They were actively
Mhm.
with their
Yeah,
children.
that's a good thing. Like
And does it make
Naruto
sense that these
incorporated the
kids can
older
make it
gen.
there before
It
these
wasn't
other
just
Jonin can as well?
it wasn't just the Kono have like 13 just fighting everybody. You had like the Jonins, Kakashis, the teachers, even like the lower level Jonins like Iruka.
Bro, the
Like
old
because
granny's trying to
it's a
protect her
universe.
3-year-old
It's a
daughter.
universe.
It's a
It's not like
world.
an
It's not a
existence
group of
of like
13
three
people.
people.
Bro,
in the
even
village.
besides
It's
that,
so dumb when
Sauron,
they made that point,
even
bro.
the freaking kid, even the main characters can't make it in time. Sarda's been racing Tajura and Hidari for over a chapter, and it's been a chapter where a lot of time has passed.
Is that
What
I
do
don't
you think
know
about
if that's
that?
true or not. I don't know if that's true, but
No,
I
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
he's
been running
referring
over
to
there since chapter 8.
okay.
yeah,
Since the middle of
before
it.
he. So I guess you have to assume that everything is those fights are just like light speed and shit, and she's just not that
Yeah,
fast.
they had
I guess
enough
you can
time to
assume that, but
visit
it's a
to
massive
visit
downscale for
the
Sarda.
books. Actually, no, they had enough time to walk into the village, defeat those like 12 random police Jonin, go into the bookstore, find the bookstore,
Which would take
come
like
out of the
30
bookstore,
seconds.
fight
But
Kawaki, knock Kawaki out, have Kawaki wake up, have Kawaki
Ood,
fight Boruto,
You
and
know,
have Boruto fly off.
guess what?
Meanwhile, Jura's having
this
a
could
whole
all
on
happen in
You're
conversation
this
with
supposed to
could
Ino
all
assume
happen
that
in
Shikachou.
Wait, Ood, this
you're
can all
supposed to
happen in
assume
5
that
minutes. This can all happen in 5
it's not.
minutes.
No, it's not even that. It's more so that
Bro, stop
when we
it.
last saw Sarda, that actually took place further on in the timeline, but they showed it before
A
it
lot of
actually took
times when
place.
stuff like this happens, this is all either happening. Sometimes it just happens like before. So this was already her running
Yeah.
Bro,
over,
it's
and
not
they're just
happening at the
showing
same
it
time.
now.
Plus,
It's
Sarda
all
finds out the moment he enters the
Sometimes,
village.
No, that's even worse,
yeah.
Saran. If that was
Oh, that's
Sarada
true.
running earlier,
That's
then she's
true.
been running even longer
Yeah.
than we
Oh wait, that
realized.
is
Like, it's
actually
No,
not
worse.
no, it's
happening at
true.
the
She
same
actually pointed
time.
out.
We get the time progression.
Yeah, she actually pointed out when he entered, and she saw when the bomb went off. So yeah, she's literally been running. That's
Not
crazy. Okay,
events happening at the
Anyways,
same
but
interesting.
time.
yeah, that is at the end of the day, it's either you have
Oh,
to
bro.
acknowledge
The
their
village is huge.
if you
It's
don't
very
want to
big.
show the Jonin, fine, but you have to acknowledge their existence. Say lines
Explain
like
why
maybe they're
they're off
not
on a mission.
even if that's like super oddly convenient, I don't care. You have to acknowledge their existence.
But they
You
even did it in Naruto. They did it in the pain arc. Kishimoto's like, yeah, they're off on a mission. That's where Guy was. That's why it wasn't there.
exactly,
You know?
exactly. Say that they're in like the eastern side of the village, and they're protecting people over there, and it's just very simple stuff. You don't need a lot of lines to explain this. You actively damage their characters by not showing them or
The
And
or
this
alternative is
explaining them.
just write him out of the
wor-
story
this is what I
completely.
mean by
Kill
like
him.
the Boruto world building is bad, and I'm not even talking about the world. It's the village, which is practically the world at this point, and this is the only places they ever go. The
We
world
haven't
building
seen Gara
within the
in like 40
village
chapters.
is bad. The world building within the village sucks.
Bro, you want
There's
to
no
talk about the
acknowledgement of
world building? Talk about the
anything.
fans.
We haven't even seen Konohamaru during this whole thing
I
either.
know. The only thing worse than a Boruto fan is a Boruto hater.
They're both absurd to me.
I disagree. I think the Boruto stance are worse than the Boruto haters, honestly.
It depends. It really does depend. I see a lot of terrible Boruto
Bro, I'm
haters.
gonna clip
I
this
mean,
and
Oodie,
upload this on
I
the
enjoy
same day.
Daigo Knight, and
Right-
he is a Boruto hater.
Right now, here, I gotta show this. I'm sharing my screen. I have videos. I've told you this, Kamui. I have videos scheduled through like the 15th. I think it's like on the 12th or something. I scheduled 2 videos to air. I gotta show you which 2 videos they are
Ooh, this
back to
cannot be
back.
the-
Go on my dates. I'm gonna
So
scroll
many
down. Okay,
videos
so
scheduled.
why
This
we
dude is
hate
insane. He's crazy.
Boruto with the thumbnail, and then anime fans are awful with the thumbnail being changed in Sasuke and Toby. Something like Boruto fans are the worst.
Interesting. Boruto fans are the worst. Oh.
Yeah, I need a more catchy
Bro, it's
title.
like I'm
Give me
looking at
something
a-
hateful, Kido.
Yeah, if
Some
you have-
real rage bait.
I don't know, bro.
Okay.